Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a very impromptu stream. I think this is the first time I've streamed on the road. So let me just start my own stream. Let me know first of all if you can hear me, see me. This is all a new setting for me. Just one laptop. Just finished my game, lots going on. I had to reset the whole thingy, XSplit. But yeah, basically what I wanted to do, since I finished my game quite quickly, I thought I'd just look at some games live with you guys. I'm not gonna play today. Basically, I just want to look at some games. So let me see if I can do that. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, so here we go. Well, that's just my game. I will start with, well, I'll show you that in a second, but I thought I'll start with the games that are still going on. I think my team is winning today. Have we won the, yeah, we've won the match already. We were playing against one of the weaker teams in the league. Well, actually the weakest team in the league, I think, Lisieux. So this is my team, Vendeuvre. And there are 2 games still going. We've only given up a draw so far, but I think both those games are going quite well for us. So let's start by having a look at Pierre Baillet. It's quite funny because he's actually from the region Bretagne, and Lisieux, the team we were playing there, from Normandy. So those 2 regions are big concurrents, and Pierre was saying that if we didn't win the match today, he would A, leave the club, and B, never be able to go home. So good thing we won today. And this is his position. I think you can see that. Yeah, you can. He's just what? He's a pawn up. But more important than being a pawn up is look at this king. This king is not a happy camper. What do you even do here? Yes, you only have 2 moves really. You can't go to c4 because of the fork on d6. So you only have a3 and a4. So let's just have a look at one line. King a3. And how does black win here? What's the easiest way? Computer wants to play queen c2. This is unusual for me, because usually you might know that when I do commentary with Simon, we don't use an engine, but I'm tired. I've played a game of chess already, so I'm allowed to. And yeah, I mean, Pierre will win this game. I have full trust in Pierre. And so there's just one more game going on in my team, and then I will come to the main clash, because there was a big game, well, the main game today of the French League. So let's look at our captain, Philippe Christophe. He was sitting beside me. I think he wasn't doing so well earlier on, so he's managed to turn that around nicely. I think played quite a good game, managed to get decent edge. He outweighted his opponent by 350 points almost, so managed to turn things around. Let's just have a look at the current position. I mean, still, the computer gives black a nice advantage, but I think in practice it's not that easy. Yeah, first of all, hello everyone in the chat. Again, as I said, very impromptu stream. First time I'm streaming on the road. I have to say I'm incredibly impressed at how good the internet is. That we're staying in this not crappy hotel, but like a small hotel on a highway somewhere. So I couldn't believe it. When I think my download speed is like 50 megabytes per second and upload is 60. So I was like, wow, impressive. So yeah, good to see you all. Baku's, Hutch Lover, RD Ban. RD Ban, I'm not sure I've seen you before. Last Coder. And Mannered Monkey. Good to see you all. So yeah, basically what I wanted, megabytes, not gigabytes. Megabytes. So what I wanted to have a look at, also after I will show you my own game, because something incredible happened to me today. I think for the first time in my life, I just won game straight out of my preparation. I basically just played the moves on my own to reach a winning position. But what I wanted to say before I show you my game is today was this main clash between Bischwiller and Clichy. Clichy seems to be taking this one. It's interesting. They made a draw on the top two boards within 10-15 minutes. The top two boards were over. You can see how many moves they played. I guess not many. We had 12 moves for Warstein against Wojtaszek and Bakro against Hamdushi. Hamdushi against Bakro. 12 moves as well. So that must have been, I don't know, I wouldn't say it was agreed before the match, but interesting team strategy there. So basically this match was just being played on 6 boards. And one of the heroes for Clichy is Jordan van Verwees. Look at his tournament. He's on 4 out of 4. He's on fire, gaining 17 rating points already. And look at, I mean, he's faced very decent opposition. And today beating Najdic in this match, a huge result for the young star. So let's have a look. Clichy are leading by 2 points already. Also Van Veli beat Romain-Edouard. Romain-Edouard, who's not having the best of tournaments, he lost to Sebag in a somewhat controversial match against Strasbourg. And what happened is that Bischwiller handed in the board order 25 minutes too late. And the thing is, I personally think it's ridiculous because they already, the first day, they also made a mistake with the board order handing in. On the first day, what they did was they sent the email to the wrong person. They sent the email to the director of the top 12 of the French league instead of to the arbiter. So, okay, I think there was no penalty for round 1, although those pairings were published late. Then for round 2, so this match I'm talking about against Strasbourg, he once again fucked up the team submission. This time they sent it to the right person, but somehow in his email address they put 0 instead of an O, something like that, something ridiculous. And also the thing is, when you submit the team by email, you get a confirmation email within the minute. So they really should have known something was wrong again. They didn't. So they ended up submitting the team 25 minutes late. And the regulations say, I mean, you can debate the rules, whether rules are stupid or harsh or whatever. The rules say that as much as the delay is in the submission, you will get that time deducted from your clock. So seeing as they submitted the teams 25 minutes late, they started, all of the 8 players of Bischwiller started with 1 hour 5 on their clock instead of 1 hour 30. And in that match, Romain lost to Marie Sebag. And he had a bit of a rant on Facebook afterwards. I'm not sure if his Facebook is open to people, but I think you can probably see his rant on Facebook. Not happy at all about what happened there. So yeah, he lost today against Van Veli. And while I was talking on board 7, draw was agreed between Jean-Pierre Leroux and Axel Delorme. So that means only 2 games remain, and Bischwiller would have to win both of them, which doesn't look likely at all. So let's have a quick look at those games. First, Mazet against Tregobov. Okay, so this ending here, Queen and Knight, and 4 pawns against 4 pawns. I really cannot see Tregobov losing this. So it looks like Clichy will win the match. Let's have a look at the women's board. Again, in the French league, you need to have 1 women player, and that women player needs to be French. If you wonder why I can play, because you might think I'm from Luxembourg, I can play because I have double citizenship. My mother is French. And yeah, mild things out. I agree, it's a shame when stuff like that interferes with the chess. It's just, I think it's also somewhat ridiculous that they couldn't submit their team properly 2 days in a row. But still, I think the problem is the players shouldn't be punished for their captain's mistake. So, and yeah, someone's asking, is the game going to count for rating? Hotchlove asked, yeah, but that is exactly what Romain is appealing. I think he's already sent emails to both the French Federation and maybe FIDE, I'm not sure. So if you submit it, yeah, no, the thing is, so the rule is, if you submit it, if after half an hour you haven't submitted it, then you lose half an hour on the clock, and you have to play with the same team order as the day before. So double punishment. So yeah, half an hour is the limit. Tac Gambino, Luxembourg is not basically France at all. Not at all. If you're half French and half... Luckily, I'm not half British. I'm just joking. And someone was saying, I thought you were going to be away for a while. Well, I am away. You can see I'm not at home. I am in Chartres in France, playing French League. And I'll show you my game in a second. But first of all, let's just check this last game in the match between Clichy and Bischwiller. So these are the two women players, Pauline Guichard against Nino Maizuradze. And again, I mean, my brain is a bit tired. But it looks like, if the engine says 0, 0, 0, then I tend to trust it. So yeah, I mean, Clichy will take this match. And it's very likely they are going to take the whole championship. This is their team, which is already pretty decent, but also they could have Maxime Vachier-Lagrave arriving tomorrow. Grand Prix finished today in Moscow. There have been rumors about whether he would play or not. I personally think he will play. I think he will come. We are only 1 hour away from Paris, where he lives. So I would say Maxime will come, further increasing their already very strong lineup. So... I think Clichy, just 4 rounds in, sort of have it in the bag already. And maybe I should just quickly tell you how this whole French league works, if you don't know. It's a 12-team all-play-all, so it's 11 rounds, 11 consecutive rounds, no rest days, no easy matches. So it's a very tough league. It's a very strong league. You can see the teams there. And 3 teams go down. So basically what my team, Vendœuvre, is trying to do is to avoid finishing in the bottom 3. If you look at the teams, it's pretty certain 2 teams will go down. Our opponents from today, Lisieux. And the other team is Montpellier. Here they are. So those 2 teams are pretty much doomed. And then the third team to go down. I think we are third last by rating. But we've been doing well so far. We made a draw in round 2. Let me show you that. Even in round 1 we fought well. So let me just show you all our results. This was round 1. We lost by the smallest of margins against Tremblay. And then in round 2, we made a nice draw against Grasse. Actually, it just dawned on me afterwards that they had 7 GMs, while we have only 2. But our 2 bottom boards, and I'll talk about them more in a second, they have been performing incredibly well. Yuri Solodovnichenko and Alexander Donchenko, they've played for Vendœuvre for a few years now. They always do incredibly well. What tournament is this? Kitty Hisses, French League. So in round 2, we made this nice draw against Grasse. And then yesterday was actually a big disappointment for us. We made a draw which on paper looks very good against a strong team from Nice. And there you can see our top 2 players, Yuri and Alex, took out Li Chao and Stevic. And the Thing is, we really shouldn't have lost my game. I won't go there. I played the stupidest move of my life. I will not show you the game now. But I played it stupid. She let me back into the game later on, but I failed to seize my chance. And however, my good friend Vlad shouldn't have lost against Rambaldi, and also Pierre Baillet was winning against Adrien Demuth. So on paper, a good draw, but really we should have won that match. What move was it? No, F5 was my stupid move. Okay, I'll show you quickly. Show you my stupid move. So it was quite funny because I prepared this, what I played. Let me flip the board around so you can see. I was following a game which had been played here in the French League in round 1 between Gajewski and Rugger, two of the most well-prepared players on the circuit. Gajewski, well known for being a second of Anand, Rugger just known for being one of the best prepared players out there. Risk a statement? What? So anyway, this was what I prepared, and this was following Gajewski Rugger up until here. So h5, I thought if Simon was looking at my games, he'd be very happy to see Harry come up the board on move 7. But the thing is, because my opponent played so many different lines, I mean, on move 1, she's played everything, b4, e4, c4, f4, b3, so I had a lot to look at in the morning. And here I just looked at the main line, which is h3. And here after h3, basically you play h4. Quite a nice line this, I like it. e4 and then f5. And this is the Rugger game, and Rugger won a very nice game against Gajewski. So this is what I was hoping for. But instead she played h4. Now I was totally out of prep. So I was trying to think what to do here. And I came up with the stupidest plan ever. I played bishop b7, which might be okay-ish. It's already not the best move, but it's not as stupid as my next move. So bishop d7, e3. Now I thought, I'll just still play f5. Although she hasn't played h3 and g4, I thought I would get time to play knight f6 and castle. The problem is, after taking on e5, knight d5, knight f6, bishop a3, never managed to get castle again. So she was just basically winning for the next 20 moves. She couldn't finish me off. And then she incredibly let me back into the game here on move 22. I found this nice shot, knight d4. I mean, position was so winning for her before. If you look, she was between +1 and +3 all the time. But after knight d4, I'd fought back. And here, okay, rook takes d5, queen takes b4. And now, if I was just not so bloody greedy, and if I didn't take this pawn, if instead I played, go away. If instead I played bishop e5, stopping her from castling, this position is actually not clear at all. And at this point we were both very low on time, so anything could have happened here, really. So that was a bit of a pity for me personally and for the team. Then I managed to bounce back today, so let me show you that last. And okay, Clichy has clinched the match. The game between Mazet and Pegubov ended in a draw. So Clichy well on their way of getting another title. I think they have 11 titles already. They're the record holders by far. Yeah, I actually, Hutchlover, I know. I actually said this on my vlog as well. If you follow my YouTube channel, you probably know that I have started vlogging a while back. And of course I'm doing a vlog on the French League, and I said yesterday in the vlog they couldn't finish me off, and as I said it I thought, oh, that's quite a risky thing to say, but you people here are very well behaved. Kitty Kitty Hiss wants to see some Vladimir games. Maybe he can show you some later himself. Vlad is actually my teammate and also roommate. He's just in the bath. So probably better if he shows you his game himself later. Vlad has been doing pretty well, so I'll show you my results so far. I'm on 2 out of 4. Won 2 games, lost 2. Decent results so far, but the toughest games are yet to come. Vladimir was very disappointed he lost yesterday. He shouldn't have lost that ending against Rambaldi. He'd actually seen quite a few draws. Besides that, he's been doing well. So it's going well for our room here so far, but hopefully we can keep it up. Hamid Valley opening, what? Yeah, Vlad is a very, very creative player. So, okay, let me quickly show you my game from today. Let me also have a petit beurre. I don't know about you guys when you play chess, but I am starving after I play a game of chess. Absolutely starving. Let me flip that around again. So while I eat my petit beurre, let me just tell you a few words. So I didn't expect to play this player. I thought I would play their woman player, but they put her... What am I doing? They put her on board 6. So I played this guy, Denis. Whoops. Sorry, forgot to change the title on... Whoopsie doopsie. Let me change that right away. How do I change the title while I'm streaming? Can I do that? I'm not logged in. Damn it. Let me log in first. So I didn't think of that. Didn't do that on purpose. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so basically I just realized my stream says I'm streaming on Lichess, which I'm obviously not. Didn't mean to do that. Totally forgot. Sorry. Yeah, I'll tell the Lichess guys I'm very sorry. Let me change that now. Still new to this whole streaming thing. And I hadn't planned to stream, so I had so much to change in XSplit that this just completely changed that. Elapsed. Or whatever. Is elapse a word? Elapse my mind? I don't know. Let me edit that now. So, what do I call it? Impromptu French League Show. Right. That should be changed now. Bon appetit. Yeah, there must be nicer things to eat on stream than... Oh, and now you can see everything I'm doing as well, right? When I was away. Do you see me changing that? Let me see. Oh, no, you couldn't because I'm using another browser. Phew. Right. That has thrown me off track. Let me finish my petit beurre first. You can see to close it. Oh, Asios is in the chat. Sorry, Asios. sorry. Didn't mean to. Just forgot. So yeah, about my game. He's playing this guy, Denis Barbini. When I prepared for him, his most recent game was from 2012. And he'd played a couple of games here. And what's interesting is this player basically only plays for his team, and he always gets black. Vlad's been in the bathroom a while. No, Vlad is just taking a bath. I told him to make sure to put some clothes on before he comes out. So yeah, this guy always plays black. And there's some lag. Where is lag? Oh, guys. Totally losing track. Maybe I shouldn't look at the chat. So yeah, my opponent always plays black. And in the most recent game, he always replied to e4 with e5. But in the past, he played e4, d6, and some kind of either modern or perts. I never know if it's perts or perts. You know what I mean. And so I thought, because I play a lot of different things against e4, e5, I thought he wouldn't want to do a great deal of preparing. I thought it would be likely, there would be some fair chances he would go d6. And lately against d6, I have mostly played bishop e3 on move 3. And I thought he would probably have something prepared here. He told me after the game that he did indeed. So I thought I'd mix things up. And I looked at this F4 line here. I think I might have played it in the past, but not in a long time. So I thought this would definitely take him by surprise. It worked out way better than I expected, or way better than I could ever have dreamt of. So basically what happened here after f4, he played bishop g7, knight f3, c5. I'd seen he'd had a game. I think c5 is not the main move here, or let's have a quick look at the opening tree. Yeah, castle is the main move. But I saw he'd played c5 in the past, so I'd only looked at c5. I had to take a bit of a gamble here. It went down exactly one line I'd looked at. So bishop d7, e5, knight g4, e6. So this is a theoretical line. And here, after the game, I told my opponent, maybe it's better to take on f6. And he was like, oh no, taking on f6 is bad, on e6 is bad, I know that. I think he just hasn't looked at theory in a while. I think this is, you can see here, black's results are a lot better after f takes e6. And the thing is, after f takes e6, knight g5, this is what I looked at. And there's this famous draw here. After bishop takes b5, knight takes e6, bishop takes d4. If I take the queen now, there have been many draws like this. It's just a draw after bishop f4, king d2, bishop e3. So the thing is, if I want to play for a win after bishop takes d4, I have to take on b5. Queen d2, queen a5, queen d2, queen takes d2, bishop takes, king d7. This is what I looked at before the game. And I thought I'd play descending, but when I was looking at it, I showed Vlad this position, and Vlad was like, I take black here. Descending is good for black. So I thought if we go down this line, I might just offer a draw and not say, you know that endings is not my favorite, kind of, not my favorite part of the game. So yeah, this was one of the lines, but I'd also looked at bishop takes b5. And it's funny, just before the game, I was telling Vlad I really hope he goes down this line. Out of everything I'd looked at, this is what I was hoping for. So he took on b5. Now I basically just got to rattle out my preparation. King d7 might look weird, but it's the main move. Now all of this is pretty much forced. Queen a5, knight c3, cd, knight takes d4, bishop takes, queen takes, knight c6, queen c4, queen b6, queen e2. I looked at all of this morning, h5, h3, and I felt sorry for my opponent, because here you can see the time spent was basically not spent. I think here h3 I was away getting some water or something, but basically I was just playing all moves instantly, because it was sort of the last thing I'd looked at before going to the game. Bishop d2, knight f5, and here I just give up the exchange. Knight g3, queen d3, knight takes, rook takes, rook f8, and queen takes g6, and this is a position I had on the board this morning while preparing. So I think I've never in my life managed to reach move 21 of my preparation. So I'm still sort of amazed here, especially because I didn't even really expect him to play d6. I thought it was just a possibility. So here, the thing is, here I couldn't remember over the board what I'd looked at next for black. Then when I came back to the room, I realized I had looked at knight d8, and when we were analyzing, we also thought this was probably the best move, but in fact it turns out it isn't. I think what I'd looked at is here, queen f5, e6, and queen e3. And black gets back this pawn on f7. So I'm down in exchange. I have a pawn for the exchange, but I think with this king in the center and awkward pieces, the computer really likes white here. So this is sort of where my preparation ended. Sorry, really hungry. So this is where my prep ended. Instead, he played what turned out to be the first computer line, queen d4, and knight d4 seems to make sense. Trying to bring my knight to g5, and it turns out he couldn't allow me to do that. He played d5, and d5 is basically just losing already, because once I get my knight to g5, I just control all these squares. I defend my pawn on f7, I control e6. The bishop is defended. I mean, everything is sort of protected. So here, after knight e4, he didn't really have a choice but to give back the exchange right away. Oh, I have... Okay. Computer for a second was saying knight c5 intermediate. I think it's better, yeah. Just take immediately. Now queen takes e4. Now I have a pawn. This line, we actually analyzed this position for quite a while after the game. Also, Grandmaster Mathieu Cornet joined us. Was quite nice. But I think these positions are just fine for white. I'm now a pawn up, and his king is still in the center. So after rook e1 and queen takes g2. Yeah, I think we saw quite a lot actually now analyze this. This position just looks really nice for white, I'd say. So that was prep worked well. So d5, as I said in the game, knight g5 followed. I'll quickly play you through the end of the game, but there was not much to do. I barely spent any time by this point. My opponent spent over an hour already. So queen f6, but there's just nothing to do now. My pieces are just too strong. Everything is defended. So I'm attacking e5 now, queen d6, rook e1, bringing all my pieces into the game. Rook h6. And actually here my first idea was to play f5 here. f5 threatening knight e6, and I think f5 is also just winning. But then suddenly I thought, oh, why should I give him this e5 square? But of course knight e5 doesn't do anything because I have queen b5 check. So I could have played knight f5. Not even sure how black defends here. Yeah, rook f6. Just g4. And look at this position. I mean, what a nightmare for black. He'll have to give the exchange back anyway, but he did that in the game. He tried to give back the exchange. I played a3 because I thought now I'm sort of stopping that knight from ever moving, because then I get bishop e4. It was sort of a little prophylactic move. I thought if he plays a random move, like just a non-move, like a6, I thought I might even consider playing g3. Just to defend f4 as well. But of course f5 is a lot stronger. So anyway, he played rook f6. And yeah, now I just went to get the exchange back. Maybe there was something more straightforward, but this is also just winning. I I take here, and then the queen comes in again. H7. He can't defend. He can't defend H5 now. And if rook takes F4 is the best the computer can come up with, then it's just really, really lost. Instead, he tried to create something here against C2. I just take the pawn, and after knight E4, I just play bishop C3. Sorry, I gave a check first to defend the F4 pawn, so that after king D8, bishop C3, that this pawn is defended. And yeah, there's not really anything black can do here. After queen C4, it's just game over, because I have queen G7, and I'm attacking E4 and F8. So he took here, but after queen takes E7, king C8, queen E8, mate is not far away, and he resigned. So basically, it was all my prep until move 21. I played a couple of moves and I had a winning position, so it's quite a nice feeling to get such a easy game, especially in such a long tournament. It's nice to get a bit of a, let's call it a semi rest day. Yeah, blind dragon, okay. Yeah, today it was not so nice of me, but yesterday was very nice to my opponent, so hopefully that makes up for it. More proof that you should study openings to get better. Yeah, this is one thing. I always say I have no openings, which is sort of true, but when I'm at tournaments, I try to prepare quite seriously before my games. Also, I don't really have a choice because I have no openings, so I have to prepare. Yeah, what else? I didn't really think this whole stream thing through. Now I'm like, I've showed my games, there's no more games going on. Now what? I'm probably just waiting for my teammates to call and say team dinner is up and I have to go. But let's see how my team is getting on actually. Let's see if the match is over. The match is over. Okay, so we won 7-1, which is nice. Today was one of the 2 must-win games, as I mentioned earlier. The other one is in the last round against Montpellier. Kitty Kitty Hisses. Have I used Simon's series of the Black Lion? Actually, if I had to make an admission, I have never looked at a single chess DVD or opening DVD. So, no, I haven't. Maybe I should play the Sicilian. Yeah, I've never played the Sicilian as black, and I've also never played the open Sicilian as white. So that's pretty bad. Let's see if there was a. Okay, let's have a look at this. There was a big clash today between David Navara and Jobaba, and I can't believe this is still going because David was completely winning. I saw the position around here and I was like, I mean, I didn't have an engine, but just look at this position. Just looks absolutely disgusting for black. We can maybe, if you want to, play through the whole game in a second. But it looks like Joby survived this attack, so incredible. Jobaba not having the best of tournaments so far. You can see here, he's made 3 draws so far. Yesterday with white against a player rated 2400, and I heard he was even losing. Almost done with my petit beurre. So let's just see. Let's just see how Jobaba managed to survive this. I'm actually quite curious to see myself. So let's take it from the beginning. Quickly click through the games. I'm not going to do much commentary because, as usual with Jobaba's game, I probably have no clue. I mean, most GM games, I'm like, what's going on? But Jobaba, I never have a clue what's going on in his games. I couldn't even tell you if this is theory or if this is, like, again, a weird Jobaba thing. Not the kind of position I would like to play as black, I have to say. know, the annoying thing when I stream with just one computer is I love to keep an eye on the chat at all times. Can't do that now, but I am a blind dragon, okay, saying most GMs have no idea what's going on with Jobaba. That's probably true. But surely this opening has not gone well for black. I mean, look at this king, look at this knight on d6, queen on g4. All of white's pieces are sort of perfectly placed. Black is totally crammed. And very impressive job, and it will be a massive disappointment for Navara not to win this game. And here, nice shot can take because of mate. So d6. If I was the black king here, I would not be happy, I can tell you that. Not be happy at all. So f4. Navara seems to have played perfectly so far. Nice. So nice sacrifice on f7. Followed by f5. How could he possibly not win this game? So here, computer, I don't know how long the engine needs, but looks like rook takes g6 was also strong. How do we deal with the threat of f6? Is f6 even a threat? Should be. Knight e7. So knight e7 attacking the rook. Rook f6. Okay, again, luckily I have an engine running, but now things are simplifying. Okay, and now we're what? Let's do a quick pawn count. I'm a pawn up, and my rook is going to infiltrate. And this must be game over. So instead he took on e6, which is also winning. But what happened now? Go away. Queen takes, rook takes g6, queen e8, e6. I mean, all of this looks perfectly fine. Rook a7, trying to defend sideways, bishop h6, rook h7. I have to say, I'm quite admirative. Admirative? Is admirative a word? Of Jobaba's defense here. A second best move, good to see you. Welcome to this very random French League stream. Jobaba plays Monte. I like this comment by Tech Gambino. Jobaba probably has no idea what's going on. Probably a good point. Why not rook takes g6 immediately after knight sack? Yeah, I think that's what I just looked at, right? Kitty kitty, he says. Yeah, in admiration of Jobaba's defense. It doesn't look like it should have been enough, but let's see how he managed to trick David, or how David tricked himself, rather. So, queen takes h4, rook e7, queen g5. I mean, he's only +3 now. In a second, he will be like +4, +5. So let's see how they got there. Knight c7, rook f6. Queen d8, queen g4, queen d5, h3. It seems like by now he's already missed sort of a fatal blow. I'm not sure if there was ever like a winning. I think the line we looked at with rook takes g6 seemed pretty straightforward. But what happened here? So e takes, queen takes, king h1, queen e5, queen f3. Okay, we're getting there. King h2, queen e5. The computer gives +5.3. Well, rook g3 seems to be the slightly stronger move, but bishop f4 also. I mean, plus 4.6 should really be enough for Navara to beat anyone in the world, even Stockfish himself. So, queen d5, Queen a3, finding the strongest move here. Queen d8. Now comes the blunder. And why is that a blunder? Because of this nice shot, rook e6. Wow. Unbelievable. I mean, I need a second to take in what's going on here. Hi, Gary Topalov. Good to see you. No leeches. No, because I'm not playing today. I'm basically just going over some games from the French league. I will do I mean, it really depends. As I said before I left, my streaming while on the road depends on two things. A, is the internet good enough? And to my surprise it was, which is why I'm streaming right now. And B, also, how am I getting on in the tournament? If I play long games every day, it's just too much to do a stream in the evening. If, let's say, I ever have a short draw, which is probably unlikely, if I manage to win quickly or lose quickly, I might a stream where I'm playing, but I would say it's unlikely. Probably more likely that I do another stream like today, update you guys on what's going on. Also, if you're playing 11 games in a row, usually you don't want to play more chess in the evening, especially because I have another tournament coming up right after this. I probably told you guys already, but I'm playing in the European individual men's literally the day after. I mean, the day after the French league is over, I fly out to Minsk, and then the day after I play 11 more games. So, yeah, 22 games in 24 days. There's not much time in the evening for streaming. Hello, Pavel Chess and Tech Gambino. Rest in peace, Vlad. Vlad, are you still alive? Yo, yo. Vlad is still alive, I can confirm. I think he's just enjoying himself in the bath. Whatever that means, make of that what you will. So yeah, let's see. So it looks like after rook e6, there's just all of this 4-point advantage has all evaporated after bishop d6. So let's see, the easiest way to win. It looks like there were many ways to win this position, but looks like the easiest or strongest was queen g3. Queen g3. So threatening, I guess threatening quite a few things. Maybe bishop h6 to start with, or what's the threat here? I mean, we're hitting this guy. No, we're not hitting this guy. I'm tired, sorry. But anyway, let's just have a look. Knight e8, rook f5. Basically, black just has no moves, I think. Now we can also bring the bishop to e5. And the computer says the best move is just to go back. Which surely if that's the best move. Now we just, I mean, yeah, just look at this position. It's totally over. Very surprising that David would miss queen g3. I mean, he must have just missed rook e6 totally. So there must have been a finer point here. Now black can just give up the queen. And there is nothing to do. It's an equal position now. Wow. So let's come to the current position, because they are still playing. Let me just click through the moves here. So David, they repeated twice here, but then David played on with b3. I mean, black is still sort of paralyzed. He can't really move any piece, but white has to show how to make progress. So now the knight finally, I was going to say the knight finally goes out. But there it is, back on g7. Okay. So not much has happened now. So this is a position on the board. For a second, the computer got excited, but doesn't look like it can find anything. Wacky Weirdo. Wacky Weirdo, yeah, let me unban you. Maybe Dan. What did Wacky Weirdo do? No, Wacky Weirdo, I remember. I think I banned you. I think you're being rude to me. I think you said you wanted to slap that or something. It was you, Wacky Weirdo. And someone, I'll unban you, but you better behave in the future. Let me unban you. Second chance for everyone. You're unbanned already. Maybe Anton unbanned you. Right, let me... I remember everything, absolutely. So, Wacky Weirdo, I think you are unbanned. I'm confused. Someone probably unbanned you. Ah, that's private chat. I'm confused. Anton... Oh, it was you. I'm really confused. I don't know if Wacky Weirdo is unbanned already. Let me sort out this ban situation. I don't even know how to do that. I know how to ban someone, but I don't know how to unban them. I think you're unbanned. I unban. Okay, let's try that. God, I'm really useless. Unban Wacky. And when your username is Wacky Weirdo, unrecognized. Oh, misspelled. Managed to misspell unban. Impressive stuff. Wacky Weirdo. Okay, Wacky Weirdo, you're back. Tell your brother to behave. Thank you for the help, Kitty Kitty, hiss. Am I doing the stream with Simon Williams again today? No. Broken Arrow, that was a one-off. I'm not sure if there's anyone in the chat who caught that stream. When was it even? Last Wednesday? I think on Wednesday evening. Simon did his match against Aman. Then I joined Simon afterwards for a very, very, very random stream. Not much chess was played. Had some chat, a nice little chat. Meanwhile, what is David doing? Is he trying to lose this game now? I think this is what often happens. You've had such a winning position, and of course David knows he was totally winning. And then you don't want to take a draw. Because you're so disappointed and so frustrated. And then you just basically overpress. You try too hard to win, and I hope David won't do that, because not winning this game will be heartbreaking enough, but to lose it would be pretty bad. Meanwhile, let's see if I have a message from my teammates. Hope you can see what I'm doing. No, you can't. Good. Yep. So okay. So let's see what else is still going on. I'm not sure how much the stream is going. I think the stream will just go on until I get a call to go out to team dinner. So let's see who else is still playing. It's now 7:30 here in France, so the game started 5 hours ago. And there are just 4 more games still going. So this one, actually I just realized Navara game has no incidence, no effect on the match result, because Mulhouse have already won, so David can press as much as he wants. Even if he loses, his team will win. But, both David and Badu are good friends of mine, so I don't wish it on either of them to be heartbroken. But I really hope David doesn't overpress this. Really, really hope he doesn't lose. As is still playing Li Chao against Naisans. Let's go there. That match situation is actually still tense. 3.5, 2.5 for Nice. How is Li Chao getting on? So Li Chao has an opposite color bishop and rook ending, which again, I mean, I'm not much of an ending expert, but I'm fairly certain this should be a draw. Fairly certain. Hutchlover, no, he definitely... Hutchlover, you must have missed the end of the stream then. After I left the stream, Simon streamed for another, I think, 5 hours or something. Because when I woke up, the whole stream was still online on Twitch, and then I messaged him saying, you maybe better take the stream down. Simon streamed for a total of 9 hours. I think he streamed... Match with Aman was maybe 3 hours. And then he did another 1 to 2 hours with me, and then he went on. I think he eventually, yeah, that's right, Kitty Kitty, his. He sort of eventually removed his camera, webcam. Rather, he put some weird photos over them. There was one photo of a ginger cat and one just weird photo. He put on this weird psychedelic music and just played Blitz without saying a word. Yeah, I'm a big Simon fan too. And yeah, the whole video is down. The whole 9-hour stream is lost for all eternity. Gone. Yeah, sometimes Simon doesn't know how to stop. And that is absolutely true, Full Metal Duck. But I think it's also what makes Simon what he is. He's just such a... How do you say that? Simon is just Simon. He doesn't do things half... What do you call it? Just everything he does, he just goes all the way. Right, so Li Chao, my guess, a draw. He will try, of course. Maybe that king... But yeah, he will try, but I don't think there's much to do. And then the other game that's still going on in that match, Lagarde against Godard. What is going? This is a weird one. I mean, computer here says 0. So the computer says 0, 0, 0 because they are repeating moves. Okay. I think Vlad is about to make an appearance. I don't know if you can sneak out without being seen. You should say hi if people are worried you might have died in the bath.
I need to be on the first plan over here. I'm still alive, guys. I wanted to show up. It's like some nudity, but then...
Kitty Kitty his is very happy to see you. Yeah, so, Vladdy in the house.
Did you hear from the thing?
No, didn't hear anything. So yeah, basically we're just... Kitty Kissy his wants to know if you do yoga after taking a shower.
I do yoga during taking a shower.
Does yoga in the shower, he says. Vlad, I was just looking at the Navara game, because Vlad was actually one of the first people to tell me he couldn't believe Navara is even trying to lose now.
Oh.
So yeah, the last game, finally, that is still going on, is in the Clichy match, but that has been decided already. But let's see how Pauline is getting on against Nino. Also this weird thing. Also knight against a few pawns.
How far can you lose?
I don't know. Just watch the computer. Hutch lover, that just sounds weird. That just sounds weird. Right, so I think Okay, the lead Xiao game. Yeah, I was just I think Lagarde, actually that's when Vlad came out, but I think Lagarde will end in a second. Well, no, they stopped repeating. So who is playing for win? Lagarde is playing for win. No. So Black has to play for win because of the match situation. They are down a point. They can't win on board 1, so Black has to win for Saint-Quentin to stand a chance in the match, which is why he didn't go back again to d3, which would just have been a draw, but he played rook e1. He is, after all, a piece up, but the central pawns are quite advanced already. I think if you guys don't mind, we'll just stick with this one, because the players are down to their last minute. Kitty, hiss. 2 ex-girlfriends were yoga instructors. That's interesting. Dad and I have a good friend who's very into yoga and meditation. And he's just won the Icelandic championship, I think yesterday. So congratulations to Gudmundur. I don't think he will ever see this. But he should know we're thinking of him and happier for him. So, 2 minutes for white, 1 minute for black. I have to say, if I were black here, I'd be very scared of these pawns. Very scared. I don't think I'm going to show any lines now. The players are so low on time that we can just wait for the moves to appear on the board. Let me check one more time to see if we haven't been summoned for dinner. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, so he starts pushing those pawns. Of course, black will hope to make use of the A pawn. But that is a far-fetched dream. I think before thinking of that A pawn, he needs to worry about how to stop white's pawns. What?
Checking results of some American training. This, I think, is not the 0.
No.
Lul.
Lul.
Kind of late, we need to go dinner soon.
This is true, but I think they might. So we're just discussing dinner. But I think basically how it works here in the French league, we always have lunch in the hotel, which is quite nice. It's a buffet, so there's a lot of variety. But in the evening we always eat out. And the thing is, because our hotel is sort of in the middle of nowhere, there was just one restaurant nearby. It's an Italian restaurant. It's actually quite decent. It's a chain. They have pizza, pasta, meat, whatever. But I wouldn't actually mind eating there every evening. But I think a lot of the people on the team like to get some change. So we ate there last night. So I think our team will probably come back to the hotel, and then we will get cars. There are 2 players here with cars, so we can all fit in and go into town. Town is actually lovely, and you will see it soon. I think in 2 or 3 days, part 1 of my French League vlog will come out. I got some footage in town, so you will see. But it's a lovely, lovely city. I didn't actually realize how nice it was until I came here. Has Vlad not had a hammy sandwich already? Lol. Maxime must invite us home for dinner. You mean Maxime Vachier-Lagrave? Maxime lives in Paris. Actually, I went to his flat last year during the Grand Chess Tour, which was quite funny because he'd literally just bought the flat. We went there to play this game called Avalon. So who was there when it was quite a high rate. Let's just say I took the average flat rating down by quite a lot, because who was there? So MVL was the host, And Magnus was there, Levon Aronian was there, Peter Heine Nielsen. That's it. It was the 5th. We were watching football and playing Avalon. And yeah, as I said, it was funny because Maxime had just moved in and the flat was pretty much just empty. Like he had a table and a fridge, the couch. The walls were absolutely naked and empty. Oh, I'm not showing you the game. Sorry about that. I switched back to Li Chao, who, I don't know, maybe I was wrong in saying that this is a total draw. Maybe not that easy. Fiona should become a UFC fighter. That's not going to happen, but I went to see chess boxing a couple of times. I remember one of the times I went with Simon, and it was quite a boozy night. And at some point we had a handshake saying that we would both take up chess boxing. I wanted to become, the night I was there was a fight. One of the fights was between 2 women. Let's just say their chess was far from impressive. Their boxing, I don't know much about boxing, but it didn't really scare me. And how chess boxing works, you alternate between chess and boxing, and you actually start with, I think, a 2-minute chess sequence. I thought I can make these girls within 2 minutes. And then I wouldn't even have to box. So I was like, oh, I'll do chess boxing. And of course it was just ended up being another of those random ideas. Simon actually did some boxing, never chess boxing though, I think. It's an interesting, and if you're ever in London for one of the shows, I haven't been to one in a few years, but it's just some guys. The way the hotel works is so weird. I'll show you this. So in front of me is a window. When people arrive, they just walk past here. And then you have this nice view onto the parking lot. Anyway, these weird guys just walked by. Nothing to do with anything, but just thought I'd tell you. Yeah, I would have to... sometimes I still think I should do it, but... probably not gonna happen. Simon against King Crusher. Yeah, I would absolutely love such a match. Love to see such a match. Oh, Hutch Lover went to Leuven. I don't think I can read out your comment. Right, let's see how... Okay, so the game between Navara and Jobaba has ended in a draw. Very disappointing result for Navara. He played a brilliant game. Let's just go back to this moment here. On move. Where was it? Did I get lost here? Here. After Queen D8, move 38. If Navara had just played Queen G3 here, I'm 100% certain he would have won that game, but wasn't to be. Instead, after Bishop E6, Joby found Rook takes E6, and the game is just a draw, incredibly. So 3 games still going. Maybe Li Chao is going to prove me completely wrong. Wouldn't be the first time someone proved me wrong about an ending evaluation. Let's see, is he making progress? He sure is, at least according to the engine. So they swapped one pair of pawns. Let's see what happened. So those pawns disappeared off the board. Now that pawn is looking well dangerous on d7. Reminds me of something someone said when we were analyzing my game. Someone from my opponent's team said to my opponent that this pawn on f7 was looking quite dangerous, and he was surprised I didn't try harder to get rid of it. Actually, it would be very tough for someone who doesn't train in cardio to do boxing. Yeah, that's true. Before I took up boxing, I would just need to get fitter in general. But I'm going to Sorry, I will, I'm planning to do that this summer, get in shape, for good. I'm actually going on a road trip, on an interrail trip with my brother after these two tournaments, after the French League and Minsk. So the day after Minsk, I go home for one day, and then I set off on a 3-week Euro trip with my brother, so that will be a lot of fun. We'll do a lot of walking, so that will get me prepared for the rest of the summer, hopefully. Some Dutch people taking over the chat here. Maybe Li Chao is just winning. I have no idea. How do you stop queening? Maybe it will come down to Li Chao having to mate with rook and bishop against rook. No, that's a draw. Don't mind me, I'm very tired. Very tired here. So it can't come down to that, because I think next sense would hold the draw. So basically white needs to queen. But how? Maybe the computer just doesn't understand. Maybe I don't understand. Zinko, so who's winning right now? I would still say it's a draw. What do I know? I'm not the queen of endings, unlike Simon. You look quite good, Fiona. You just need a little cardio and lift some weights for 40 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a week. Lols. Well, you're laughing, but I will not hit the gym. I hate gyms. I will not do. My brother has a treadmill at home, and he has some weights. Well, actually, I mean, if I'm in a hotel somewhere, I might hit the gym, but I'm not gonna hit the gym just when I'm at home. I dislike being in gyms. Just find it awkward. I did it when I lived in London. I went to the gym quite regularly, but didn't enjoy it once. We would worry for you, yeah. I mean, boxing, really not. I just wanted to become chess boxing world champion. I think that was the great idea. But I'm not into boxing. I don't enjoy watching boxing. Just not into boxing. I don't get why in your spare time you would want to be beaten up and risk injury. Not something up my street. Blunderman. Lifting wine glasses is more than enough. Like that. Yeah, a lot of wine glasses to be lifted. Actually, during this tournament and the next one, I'm taking it very easy, because I don't think I've ever done something as tough from a chess point of view as playing 2 such strong tournaments in a row. So yeah, I do have the odd glass of wine with my dinner, but nothing out of control. Nice Blazer Row, good to see you. Good to see you. Push-ups. Push-ups is another good keyword. I can't do push-ups. Just can't. Not a single one. Oops. Someone was asking what would happen if my earrings just... There we go. Yeah, no. Can't do push-ups, I'm afraid. My big goal is to be able to do a couple of push-ups someday. Someday. Running, actually, yeah, running, again. Maybe I'm just not a big fan of fitness. I need that goldfish ball, yeah. It was when I was in Moldova. Vlad had this very nice wine glass, was about this size. I like that. Actually, Gatzinko, talking of things you can do at home, Simon once told me about this app. What's it called? The 7-minute workout, I think. So it's an app you can download on your phone, and it tells you these different exercises. And Simon was actually doing them last year when we were in the European Club Cup. That he would do like star jumps in his room and stuff, which I found hilarious. I wish I'd seen it someday. I mean, I can't really imagine Simon in this tiny hotel room in Serbia doing star jumps. You can. Yeah, those cheating push-ups. I can do those if you store on knees. Oh, Blaze a row.
This is for your great win, Fiona.
Thank you so very much. Very kind of you. Too kind. Blaze a row. Thank you so much. Very generous. And yeah, Blaze a row, I think you joined the show late. So maybe while we wait for Li Chao to show us how to win this, I still don't know. So what is going to happen is they are going to play rook and bishop against rook. And Nakesens will have to show that he can defend this with 1 minute on the clock, which is far from easy. So this one is going to go on for a little while longer. So Blazero, for your kind donation, let me show you very quickly what happened in my game today. So basically, up until move 21, queen takes g6, I had this position on the computer this morning while preparing. So all prep up until this point, very rare that this happens to me. And here I'd looked at knight e8. This is a line, I've given up an exchange, but I've won a pawn. Well, actually right now I'm 2 pawns up, but usually black should be able... Am I 2 pawns up? 7, yeah. Black should be able to win back f7. So the line I'd looked at was knight d8, queen f5 check, e6, queen d3, rook takes f7. This is where I ended my preparation this morning, and I'm an exchange down. I have a pawn for the exchange. But, the computer likes white just because black's pieces are awkward. His king is stuck in the center. But instead, my opponent played queen b4, which is also fine, but only if you follow up knight e4 by giving back the exchange straight away with rook takes f7 and take on e4. And you also take on g2, so now it's equal material, but my pieces are just much stronger, which is why white still has some edge here. But instead, after knight e4, my opponent went astray with e5, and after knight g5, it's pretty much just game over already. So I only really played 2 moves on my own after being out of my preparation, which is why I called today a semi-rest day. Didn't have to put in too much effort. After knight g5, I'll quickly show you how the game concluded. Go away my results. Basically his king is just too awkward. His pieces can't move. All my pieces are now joining the game. I was saying that instead of a3 I thought of f5, which is also winning. But in this position white can pretty much play anything. I think even anything is winning here. Yeah, I played this prophylactic move a3. a3 was sort of to stop him from ever moving the knight, because I would play bishop b4 after dealing with this guy first. And I also thought black doesn't really have any moves, so he played rook f6, which just gives back the exchange. But have queen h7, the h5 pawn is dropping. It's just game over. I tried to create some play against c2, but I give a check first to defend f4, and after king d8 I play bishop c3, stopping all the threats. All my pieces are defended, all of his are awkward, and after queen c4 it's just immediately game over, because queen g7 hitting both the rook and the knight has to take on f4, but now it's just mate too common. He resigned after queen e8. So quite lucky for me to get my preparation that way. Really can't remember the last time it happened. Frankensteins, how did you do in the tournament? Well, the tournament is still in full swing. We've only played 4 rounds out of 11, so there's still a lot of games to come. Here's how I'm doing so far. I'm on 2 out of 4. 2 games I lost, I didn't play very well. The game against Camille was interesting. Got a bit lucky in the end. She had a perpetual, but somehow I think she thought the line she played was still a draw, but then the tricky king march. Anyway, for all you people asking how I'm doing in the tournament, etc., etc., let's put on Li Chao while I chat away. But 2 games still remain. Pauline, let's see if Pauline has any willing chances. Okay, Pauline has made some progress. She has 3 pawns against the knight. I think Pauline has some good winning chances here. Li Chao. Okay. Li Chao. I think Li Chao has done an excellent job here. So the computer suggests bishop e7, which I reckon will be played. Black is totally tied down. So let's stick with this one while I chat away. I'm not even sure what I was saying a second ago. But yeah, 7 more games to go. 2 out of 4 is a decent score for me so far. But we now have some tough games coming up. Tomorrow we play against Bischwiller, the second strongest team in the league. But I think everyone on our team is having a great result so far. Our top 2 boards, Yuri Solodovnichenko and Alexander Tonchenko, are both on 3 out of 4. Yuri is performing at like 28.50. Let me just show you that. It's pretty incredible how well they are doing. So you guys have been wondering about Vlad. Here you see Vlad's result. He's on 2.5 out of 4. He shouldn't have lost yesterday, so it would be even better, but still a decent result. Donchenko, Alexander, he's on 3 out of 4. He made draws against Jobaba and Kuzubov and beat Stevic and Stefan. So I think that's a performance of almost 2,800. And then our hero is Yuri Solodovnichenko. He's also on 3 out of 4. He beat Li Chao yesterday. He held Malakov and Krivoruchko 2 draws. So Yuri having an excellent tournament so far. Excuse me, I think he's performing at 28.50 or something ridiculous. So yeah, hopefully we can keep up the good work. I was saying that we need to avoid finishing in the bottom 3 to not go down, which is our big goal. And hope you treat. Let me have a look at your tweet, Blazer. I didn't even see that. Struggling with Twitter lately. Where is your tweet? I have to look for it later. But yeah, what was I just saying? I'm losing the thread. So we need to avoid finishing in the bottom 3. We today beat Lisieux, and another must-win match will be in the last round against Montpellier. We've managed to get 2 draws already, so I think we need 1 more result in the next 6 rounds. Is that right? Yeah. Somewhere, I mean, the next 6 rounds we will play tough matches every day, so we need to get a result somewhere. Denis, she won her game. Who won? I didn't play against Denis Barbara. I played against Denis, what's his name? Denis Barbini. I played against the man today. He is not having a great tournament. He told me he's the club president, and he's just sort of here as a sub. So must not be enjoying his time on the board so far. But Lisieux, they are a fantastic team. They are like a team of friends. They didn't strengthen their lineup. They're having a great time here. I think they're just drinking every day, having fun. So, yeah. Yeah. Today's opening was the Fioni attack. Oh, and that's almost correct. Almost. I have to say, I do love pushing my f-pawn. Kitty hiss. Do I have an ECF rating? Yes, I do, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Somewhere 190? Maybe just below 190?
200 is all the ECF rating.
I don't have 200, do I?
You do have 200.
Vlad thinks I have 200. I don't think I do. Maybe it's somewhere just below 200.
Every streamer has 200.
Okay.
But so, everyone knows that every streamer has 200.
Apparently every streamer has 200. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but... Why hasn't white gone bishop c8 yet? Good question. I'm not sure what's going on here, broken arrow. So you mean after... The thing is, he's trying to avoid, of course. He's trying to win without getting this ending rook and bishop against rook, which is a draw. Of course. And Blue-Gray Haze has looked up my ECF. It's 197. Vlad in room with Fiona. Yes, Israel. Vlad is my roomie. It's just having a rest. As you can see. Vlad, say hi. So that's Vlad. And yeah, we will also be roommates in Minsk. So spending a lot of time with each other right now. I think he's sick and tired of me already. Hi Vlad, hi Vlad. And yeah, Blue-Gray Haze, a Champions League place for Liverpool today. Successful round. I missed the games, unfortunately, but very happy to see the result when I got back. I know that Malcolm Payne was at Anfield today. I saw a tweet from him at 9 a.m. Shortly after 9 a.m. he was on the 9:14 train from London to Liverpool, and they'd already run out of beer. So that's quite funny, but I trust he had a great day. Apparently Simon is online. I hope he's not streaming right now. But after, when I'm done. I mean, I will stop my stream very shortly. Oh, and Li Chao is now winning. How did he do that? What happened here? Usually when the computer jumps to plus 50, that means something. So what he's basically trying to do is get the bishop away from that diagonal. And the problem is black can never go to b6, because then I can go rook b5 and sacrifice rook for the bishop, and then queen. So he needs to, what white is trying to do is take away both the a5, not both, three. The three squares he needs to take away from the black bishop. a5, c7 and d8. So maybe just rook c5 and king e8. Might be winning. Yeah, I think he got there. Impressive display by Li Chao, proving me wrong completely. Again. Again. Yeah, broken arrow. It is a small bedroom. It's not the most luxurious hotel I ever stayed in, but there you go. I mean, it's not like we spend so much time in the room anyway. Basically just after dinner in the evening and prepare in the morning. So we'll survive. We've booked a luxury room in Minsk for the next tournament, so that should be good. Why was Malcolm Payne trying to buy beer at breakfast time? Maybe he was trying, because actually the tweet said, let me read the tweet to you guys. I retweeted it, so if you want to see it, just head to my Twitter. So Malcolm tweeted this morning saying, the 9:14 Virgin train from London Euston to Liverpool has run out of beer. Hashtag never walk alone. Hashtag send help. Hashtag Liverpool FC against Borough. So I like the send help. No. Yeah, why was he, well, I guess you'd always want to get a drink before a match, especially in England, since you're not allowed to drink in the stadium.
Got to donate for Vlad.
Blazero, you're crazy. Vlad, you just got the €20 donation.
Cool.
Look at how happy Vlad is with that donation. Can you be a bit happier?
Well, it will never reach me, so you can put it in your pocket.
No, it will reach Vlad. I'll buy Vlad a dinner with that money at some point. But actually, Vlad owes me dinner first, because we had a bet a football bet. Vlad is a Man U fan. I'm a Liverpool fan, and a couple of months ago we had a bet who would finish higher in the league, and the loser had to buy winner dinner. So I won a well-earned dinner because Man U are shite. Wow, what a crazy ending. Music then, good to see you. I think it's now it. Okay, so he got to the other diagonal. I thought I just made my point clear that we'd taken all the squares away from the bishop, but now the bishop just goes to the other diagonal. So how do I win now? Vlad, don't laugh at me. But I think the bishop is still running out of squares. So bishop h4. So here again, diagonal is just too short either way. If I can't go to g5 because then I have rook g6 and just taking the bishop. And after bishop h4, okay, so Vlad is saying we just need to close the diagonal with the rook. Let's go to what? e7 or what? Huh? Okay, so yeah, Vlad is saying we can just bring the rook to e7. And that's that. That seems to make a lot of sense. Who? e5. But it's winning, yeah? The computer says plus 50. But yeah, Blaze a Row, I didn't say thanks enough, but your 20 euros will reach Vlad sooner or later. I'll buy Vlad a nice pizza and a bottle of wine. So thank you very much. So rook b6 and king f3 were played. What? Look at this move the computer is suggesting here. That is crazy. Rook g4. I love that move. The point, of course, is you can't take because we queen with check, which is very nice. And if we don't take, then so bishop f6 only move. Oh wow, those are some beautiful lines. Now rook g7, unbelievable. Again, we can't take the rook because we queen. And if we play anything else, I'll just play rook e7. Wow, let's see if Li Chao can find this. But if you go rook, he has played rook g4, has been played bishop f6. Impressive technique by Li Chao here. Really fantastic stuff there. Now, I mean, this must be like beauty prize for ending. Look at this maneuver. Rook g4 follow. I really hope he plays rook g7, but he will. I'm 100% sure he will.
Probably after rook b1, let's say. White can go rook f7.
What? So Vlad is saying that the problem is if you play a move like rook b1. Rook f7. So if we don't take, if we go, let's say here, and white plays rook f7. Yep. And after rook, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing to be done. The bishop is just lost. If we defend it, we can just take it. And we can also just queen. So very nice. And rook g7 is on the board. Very, very nice. I am on fire. Well, I'm not. Yesterday I played an awful game, or at least one awful move. But I do feel a lot better when it comes to my chess than I did a few weeks and months back. My final 4 NCL weekend when I scored 0 out of 3 was really, and I felt pretty bad, pretty down after it, and my confidence levels were like plummeted. But then the French Women's League gave me a nice boost. And now I feel like I'm back. I feel like I can sometimes play a decent game of chess at least. And yeah, something I was saying earlier and then I got off track as usual, was that if you want to follow what I get up to at tournaments, do subscribe to my YouTube channel because I have started vlogging and there's a first French League vlog coming up. I hope no. There's a first French League vlog coming up halfway through the tournament, so now we're past round 4. I think Dan and I will try and get it ready after round 6. So 2-3 days from now, part 1 vlog French League will be up. I'm really looking forward to it. Get to meet some of my teammates and see what we get up to here in Chartres when we're not playing chess. Rook g7 still on the board, makes sense down to 30 seconds. I mean, this is depressing. It's move 99 as well. I hope he will play at least one more move. Don't resign on move 99. I want it to be 100 moves. What do you do? I mean, you don't really have a move. Very, very, very impressive stuff by Li Chao. Li Chao also one of the nicest people out there. I got to talk to him at Norway Chess last year. I sent him some photos to use at his wedding. Lovely, lovely guy. That's my FIDE rating, 2155. Desperately trying to get to 2200. Yes, rook d4 is on the board, so we will make it to move 100. So now just what Vlad was saying, just rook f7. I think rook f7 and then makes sense will resign. Am I really higher than King's Crusher? No. Has King's Crusher fallen below 2150? Not many people know this, but King's Crusher and I were teammates for Muswell Hill, also Vlad. Actually, the 3 of us played on the same team. Vlad, Fiona and King Crusher. So rook f4 and now one last nice move. Rook takes f6. Rook takes f6, rook takes king e7, and you can't stop my pawn. So very, very nice finish. Again, I mean, I'm in absolute awe. When I first looked at this ending, like, when was it? Half an hour ago, I was like, oh, it's just a draw, opposite colored bishops. But what a masterclass by Li Chao. Kitty Kitty hisses. Is shocked, Vlad, that you were a teammate of King Crusher.
I didn't know this.
So Vlad is saying that at the time, so this was a few years back when we were on a team with King Crusher. Vlad didn't know that this is King Crusher. Maybe you didn't even know that King Crusher existed or that this was him.
I didn't know it either.
Yeah, so this was back when Vlad wasn't even aware of the existence of King Crusher. I think maybe neither was I.
Nowadays I would not even go to the same McDonald's.
Oh, dear. And the game is over. Nixons has resigned, so really kudos to Li Chao. Very, very... I mean, look at this one last time. Here, on move 98, he plays rook g4. The rook cannot be taken because we're queen with check. So bishop f6. Now rook g7. Followed by rook f7. And giving up the rook. Very, very, very nice game. And yeah, let's see if Pauline is still playing, and otherwise I think that is that. Pauline has made a draw. I think she came close there in the end. Let's see how the game finished. She came close, but not close. Oh, wow, she was on +6. Again, I mean, I wouldn't. But the computer... No, computer was wrong. Sometimes the computer does this to you. It says +6 and then you play its move and then it just goes down to 0. So Pauline probably didn't miss anything. It looked promising, but good defense. I know. But yeah, I think that is all for now. this impromptu stream coming to an end. Maybe I will do more of it in the future. Depends on how the tournament goes. Probably not gonna play much, but maybe look at some more games. Keep you guys up to date about how it's going. And yeah, good to see you all in the chat. Kitty kitty hiss hiss. Flat. Do you get to meet one of several girlfriends of the king, Vlad? I don't think we did.
They don't exist.
They don't exist, says Vlad, so that's that. Yeah.
Only boyfriends of
Can't repeat everything Vlad says because it's a family-friendly stream. Yeah. Okay, so that concludes this random French League stream. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm hoping to do more of these. Hopefully I can win a few more quick games and do some more streams. But a few tough games coming up tomorrow against Bischwiller. So cheers for now. Thanks Blazero for the donations. Very generous. And yeah. Take care. See you guys soon. Have a lovely evening. Fiona, last question. Blue Grey Haze, who is the nicest girl there? I already said Navara is the nicest guy. The nicest girl, she's not here yet. I think she's arriving tonight or tomorrow. And she's called Mathilde Conju. I will have to play against her, probably, which is always a shame because she's one of my closest friends. Don't like playing people I'm so close to. But Mathilde Conju, nicest girl you'll ever meet on Earth. So, that's that. Thank you, Hutch Lover, everyone. Strange Cyborg, good to see you. Better late than never. And all have a lovely evening. Take care and see you soon. Bye.